For the Rebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant. So after the big day, after the support demonstration, 1,500 people, after the short court hearing, after Tommy meet and greet with hundreds of fans, I went to a bar just to sit down and catch up on things, and Gavin McInnes was there, and he pointed across the street and said, "There's a known jihadi." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And he sent me this article from the newspaper, and he said, "That guy's outside." And I said, well, there's so many cops out here, I feel safe-ish. And I had actually overheard earlier the police knew a jihadi was in the area, so I knew that things probably would be safe. So I walked up to him and I said, well, hi, I'm Ezra Levant with the Rebel. I hear you're a jihadi, are you? And here's how that conversation went. My name's Ezra Levant from the Rebel.media in Canada. What's your name?
Abdul Hakim.
Do you also go by the name Ricardo McFarlane? That used to be your name?
I'm Abdul Hakim, that's my name.
And can I ask what brought you here today? Were you here for the Tommy Robinson event?
Yeah, obviously I'm here. One of the main reasons why I come here, it's Qadr Allah I came here actually, but one of the main reasons is to challenge Tommy Robinson to a debate, number one, and number two, to a MMA fight, charity fight. And I think this is one of the ways, I don't think that Tom Robinson's being sincere with a lot of things he's saying. I don't think he's been objective. I think he's not got any academia regarding Islam. If you want to talk about Islam, you talk about it from the usul, the foundations and the principles of the religion. You don't just come and say blurt out stuff, because it's not sincere.
Can I ask what your foundations are in Islam?
My foundations come from the usul, which is the principles of the religion.
Are you a convert or a revert to Islam?
I'm a revert, yeah. Alhamdulillah.
May I ask what faith you were born and grew up in?
Everyone's born Muslim, even you were born Muslim, and I invite everyone here to Islam. I invite all of you because.
How did your parents raise you?
I was raised as a Christian. I went to church most Sundays. I went to Seven Sisters Church. I used to go there and.
What caused you to leave the church and become a Muslim?
I realized Islam was the truth, and I realized that Islam is superior to. I believe that is
Can I ask you a question though? There's different ways to promote Islam. There's peaceful ways. There's even peaceful jihads or struggles, and there's violent ways. Do you support violent ways of jihad?
Well, there's no peaceful way of doing jihad, is there? I mean, when you're killing someone, it's not peaceful, is it?
Well, I've been told that jihad just means struggle, and it was possible to have a peaceful struggle. Is that not true?
Jihad is just a peaceful struggle.
I don't know. I was told that. Is that not accurate?
Yeah. So in Islam, we have something called jihad. Yeah, that's in Islam. So just to make this question more relevant to the people, if you do you think it's justified for America to go to war, to attack certain countries like Iraq? Do you think that's justified?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, it's not justified. It's clearly not justified.
So what should be the retribution on America?
Well, I don't believe that America has any moral ground to stand on. In terms of governments, if you look at Donald Trump, one of the first things he did when he came to office was to kill innocent children. He killed Anwar al-Awlaki's, son, and he killed his daughter.
So what's the proper?
Straight away when he came to power. But the thing is, there's a difference between the people in governance and there's a difference between the leadership. I believe that the leadership in this country, I believe that Muslims in general should call for a solution to the hypocrisy of man-made laws in this country, because the Sharia is the solution, ultimate solution for.
So, but what's the way to get Sharia law in the UK? Would you enforce it on the public through attacks? Do you believe that British soldiers should be attacked because they're manifestations of the secular state?
Yeah, if I believe this, then I wouldn't be here.
I don't know.
Yeah, if I believe this, I wouldn't be. So
where would you be?
What I'm doing now, what I've been doing through the years, is promoting the Sharia through peaceful means. Through speaking about Islam, by speaking about the justice of Islam, and also putting down democracy as a hypocrisy.
So, if you don't like democracy, do you think who should make the rules? Who should make the rules?
Allah.
But who interprets that? Would you interpret that?
Yeah, that's why I said there's a usul. If you look up the usul of tafsir, there's principles in Islam how to rule by the Sharia. It's not just like you just make up your own laws.
Now, I didn't know who you were until a friend said that you were associated with some men who were charged with terrorism. Is that true?
Well, that's your interpretation. It's not open to interpretation.
I'm here to find out the facts because I had never heard of you until an hour ago.
Are the BBC associated with Jimmy Savile?
Yes.
So what's going on? Like, how comes they're still able to propaganda? How comes no one's been charged with the BBC with associating? My message is very simple. I'm a Muslim. Okay, I call for the justice of Islam, which is free food, clothing and shelter for all citizens. It's injustice to pay for food. It's injustice to work from 8 till 9 every day, or 8 till 6 every day, just for to pay your rent. You know, just to pay for your food.
I want to ask you a question. Some of the attacks that we've seen in London recently, on the Westminster Bridge, on other bridges, do you condemn those, or do you think that those people had the right idea?
If you look at the 9/11 attacks, for example, yeah.
Do you condemn those?
Let me talk about the 9/11.
That should be easy to do, right?
Let me just say something, yeah. You have to look at the narrative. You have to look at things step by step, yeah.
But how about the innocent people who were on the Westminster Bridge?
Let's look at that. We have to look at the attacks themselves. You know, 9/11. What did they say? I was watching a report when I was a non-Muslim. They said they found the passport of the one who did 9/11 at the attack.
Okay, but I'm not talking about 9/11. I was talking about here in London.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say to you is the media is very disingenuous with how they report stuff.
So you don't think that
I don't trust the media.
Okay, can I ask you a question? I don't trust the media either, but I want to ask you a question. The Westminster Bridge, I was there on the Westminster Bridge shortly after a Muslim revert like yourself got in a car, ran down the road and ran down a bunch of civilians of many different backgrounds, many of whom were foreign tourists, so they weren't even Brits.
When was this?
This was last year. Do you believe that happened, or do you believe that's a media propaganda?
I'd rather condemn the crimes of Britain and America against Muslims.
So you won't speak out against that? Is it because you don't believe it happened?
It doesn't make sense. If someone comes in and beats up my mum or beats up my family members, yeah, and I go and take revenge against that individual, yeah, and everyone condemns me and doesn't condemn the actual crime that took place before, I think that's hypocrisy. We should look at everything holistically.
Right, but the people on the street, they had nothing to do with it, though, did they?
Like Tommy Robinson, has he ever come on the streets and condemn what Edward Heath did? Has he ever come on the streets and condemn Theresa May delaying the institutional paedophilia in the Westminster? Has he ever done anything for the people of victims of the church? But, you know what I'm saying? The popes and all the institutional things that are happening in the church.
I don't know if he has.
On evil, he's focusing on evil Muslims, okay, that have drugged up.
Are there any evil Muslims in the UK?
There are some certain people, okay, that call themselves Muslims that do evil things.
Are there Muslim rape gangs? Tommy says there are, and police are prosecuting them. Do you think that that's a stitch up? Do you think there are Muslim rape gangs in the UK?
Obviously, there are people, okay, that claim to be Muslim that are doing crimes, yeah? I'm not disputing that. But what Tommy Robinson, if he's sincere, he needs to focus on the people that are ruling this country. They are, in many parts, paedophilic in nature, okay? They have Edward Heath.
I just wanted to see, I hear what you're saying. You're saying, I don't want to condemn certain acts if I don't condemn other ones, but can't you condemn both? If you're critical of the United States for something, why can't you also say those innocent pedestrians on Westminster Bridge, they were victims of terrorism? Can't you? Why won't you say that? Because I think that most people of every race and religion would say what was done there was wrong. Can't you say that?
I believe that the media has a narrative.
Why can't you say that?
Let me answer the question.
You're not answering me.
Let me answer the question. Every media has an objective. I
just want to know.
You want to ask questions and make me answer. Like, come on, man. I'm a Muslim, innit? I have Ezra, I have honor, and my honor, alhamdulillah, supersedes all non-believers, innit? Alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim and I'm superior. And what I say, okay, is up to me, innit? I don't believe that Muslims should be condemned at expense of what their attacks on Muslims.
So you would never condemn a Muslim, no matter what he did?
Look at the war in Iraq.
Would you never condemn
many Muslims were killed because of the war in Iraq.
So you would never condemn a Muslim, no matter what he did?
Not on camera, no. Alhamdulillah.
Not on camera. But in private, would you?
In private, I might say a few things to say to him, yeah. But
what kind of things would you say? What kind of things would you say to in private? Let's say you took a car and ran down a bunch of civilians on Westminster Bridge. What would you say to that man in private?
This is a logical question. I don't want to answer that question.
It's not a hypothetical question because it actually happened.
Well, that's your opinion, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
So you don't even think it happened? You don't even think the Westminster Bridge happened?
I don't trust the media.
So you just don't believe it? Last question. What do you think should happen to Tommy Robinson?
I believe Tommy Robinson. I believe that he hasn't broken the law. If you live in the good at their law, he's just reported on the case. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really that he's broken. You know what I'm saying? So from that perspective, you know, he shouldn't go to prison. But I believe that he should be sincere and have a proper debate on the issue of what he's talking about, because I believe he's insincere with a lot of things he's saying. And I believe that if he doesn't want to debate or anything like that, he should fight me in an MMA match. I'm here.
Are you an MMA fighter?
No comment in it. No comment.
Okay, I don't know why that's no comment. Do you think that if he hasn't broken any secular law, has he broken any Sharia law?
Yeah, he's broken Sharia laws.
Which ones? What has he done wrong?
Well, blasphemy. He's done blasphemy. So he's insulted Islam.
Do you think blasphemy laws should be enforced in the UK?
Sorry?
Do you think blasphemy laws should be enforced in the UK?
I believe the UK is non-Islamic law, so it doesn't matter what law they bring, you know.
But do you think that in the UK someone should be prosecuted for blasphemy?
If Islam rules the UK, for example, the first thing that's going to be done is sort out the needs of the people. So the food, clothing.
What would you do with if the UK was under Sharia law? What would you do to Tommy Robinson?
Well, Tommy Robinson, obviously he'll be charged, okay, with incitement, or he'll be charged with blasphemy, and he'll be judged in court. And in court, the judge will determine whether he has broken the law or not.
And what do you think the punishment should be under Sharia law for blasphemy?
The same punishment as, you know, killing someone, or the same punishment as raping someone.
So the death penalty?
The same punishment of these things, yeah.
Let me ask. So that's if the UK was under Sharia law, but as you point out, it's under a secular democracy.
If Tommy Robinson said, you know what, I put my hands up. That's why I want to debate Tommy Robinson. If he puts his hand up and says, you know, I was wrong about this, you know, or even if he had an intellectual debate with a knowledgeable Muslim, okay, on certain things he's saying, then alhamdulillah, like, you know, that's fine. But obviously, what he's saying is very provocative and it's very disingenuous.
Can I ask you a few quick questions, and I'm going to get out of here? You've been very generous with your time, and I know there's other folks who want to talk to you. Just some quick snappers. Do you think that someone who is a homosexual should be allowed to be a teacher in a school?
Say that again, sir?
Do you think that someone who is gay, who's a homosexual, should they be allowed to be a teacher in a school in the UK?
I don't think it makes sense. Homosexuality doesn't make sense. If someone,
it's so like, you don't think they should be, but
I don't think there's such thing as homosexuality.
Well, the gay people think there is.
Let me speak.
But I'm not asking about the deeper theory. I want a quick answer. No, should they be allowed to teach?
It's important though, because there's a belief that says that you're born gay, and I don't believe that makes sense.
Okay. Let me next question. Should it be against the law to criticize Mohammed?
Say again.
Should it be against the law to criticize Mohammed? Like to draw a cartoon of him?
Well, that is against the law in Islam, yeah.
And is it acceptable to commit violence against someone who makes a cartoon of?
Are you interested in the foundations of the Sharia?
I want to understand who you are, because I was told you're a jihadist, and I want to know the truth.
Yeah. Do you accept the foundation of the Sharia, which is free food, clothing, and shelter for all citizens?
I think it's a bit more than that. It's the Quran.
Do you accept that though?
I don't know. I haven't studied it deeply enough, and I'm not interested in that question for right now. I want to know if you think that in the UK that violence is acceptable against people who mock Mohammed.
Mock Mohammed.
Yeah, who like make a caricature or a cartoon or say he's a pedophile. Do you think that violence against is acceptable in that case?
Yeah. Keep it on that, yeah.
Do you think that should be acceptable? I'm just trying to get. Listen, if you don't want to answer, I'll walk away. I'll let you be. But I was told you're a jihadist.
I don't think it's like, for example, what is jihadist? What is a jihadist?
Can you tell me?
You're coming saying I'm a jihadist, yeah. What is it?
I've heard that, and I wanted to find out the truth. You would know if you are. Why don't you tell me?
I'm a campaigner for the Sharia in the UK.
Have you ever been to Pakistan or Afghanistan or Iraq or Syria?
No.
Would you ever take up arms for a theocracy, like a caliphate?
What I would say is that the government we're under at the moment, Miami law, is oppressing the people. People are committing suicide because they can't have enough money to eat.
You're evading all my questions.
Children. I mean, this is the main thing. It's like an elephant in the room. We're focusing on people like myself, etc.
I got one last question. If someone you knew was going to join ISIS or another terrorist group and go to Syria, Iraq, or somewhere else, if someone said, Abdul Hakim, I'm going to join. Am I saying your name right?
Abdul Hakim.
If someone said, Abdul Hakim, I'm going to join ISIS or some other terrorist group, and I'm going to take a SUV and I'm going to run it down Westminster Bridge, would you report them to the police?
It's not allowed. It's not allowed. It's not allowed for a Muslim to report on a Muslim brother.
So you wouldn't?
It's not allowed in Islam.
So that's a no.
It's not allowed in Islam.
Has that ever happened to you? Has someone ever said to you, Abdul Hakim, I'm going to join and do a terrorist thing?
No, no one's.
Would you even tell me?
It's not. It's not even something that someone would do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so you're saying it's never happened?
Sorry.
Listen, I appreciate your time. I'm going to let you go, Abdul Hakim. I appreciate your time.
Okay.
You don't shake hands with me?
No.
How come?
Because
Am I haram?
you know, I respect. I can't shake hands with women. Innit?
But I'm not a woman.
Because you're not.
You won't shake. So that's your excuse for her. But what's your excuse for me? Thanks very much for your time. You won't shake my hand? What, is it because I'm an infidel?
What's the reason you can't?
What's the reason? Well, so the reason is you
You come here with an agenda. If you didn't come with an agenda,
won't even shake my hand because you won't even shake. Pardon
it's
me?
a Tom Robinson thing. No. Look here.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. You were generous with your time. I'll wave at you then.
Mad thing.
Okay. Bye-bye. So that's my conversation with Abdul Karim, real name Ricardo. As he says, a convert to Islam. I tried to pin him down on things. I found him very much like a watermelon seed. When you push him down from this side, he scooched that side. When you push him down from this side, he scooched that side. But I did get a few things out of him. I asked him if it should be illegal for there to be teachers who are gay. He said, gay isn't even a thing. I'll take it that means he doesn't think there should be gay teachers. I asked him if he thought it was acceptable to commit violence against those who mock Muhammad. And he said, well, under Sharia law, the punishment would be death. I asked him if he had overheard that a friend of his was going to join ISIS or another terrorist group, would he call police? And he said, no, you don't rat out another Muslim. And when I said goodbye to him, I reached out my hand to shake his because he was very generous with his time. And he put up with hecklers who gathered behind us. And he wouldn't shake my hand. And then the women standing next to me offered theirs. I knew he wouldn't shake theirs because I knew that gender apartheid is part of Islam. I didn't know why he wouldn't shake mine. Is it because I'm an infidel? I'm not quite sure why. But I don't know what to make of him. I know there are 23,000 jihadis in the UK who are being tracked by the police. I understand 3,000 of them are tracked 24/7, 365. I don't know if this guy is one of them, but there he is on the streets saying under his way of life, under his rule of Sharia law, Tommy Robinson wouldn't be on trial for contempt of court. He'd be on trial for blaspheming against Muhammad, and the punishment would be death. For the Rebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant. I'm here in the UK for Tommy's second contempt of court trial. To see all my videos on the subject, go to tommytrial.com.